Coates. Welcome to my review of the closing 12-year cycle of the 9 Fire cycle, symbolised by the dragon. Also, I will introduce the next 12-year cycle starting in 2025, an 8 cycle called the Mountain and symbolised by the chess player. I am a fantasy writer and futurist, and I employ various mechanisms within my book. One is Tibetan numerology. It may be thought of as the uncle to key astrology. Before I forecast the end and beginning of the next cycle, let me condense the opening scene from the book, Angel's Call to War. Jack passed through the Devil's Gates. A new game was afoot. The army ribboned to his left and right. They viewed out and over the land beneath, our land, this land that you and I occupy now. Above them lay the fabled lands of the supraphysical dimension, the land of fantasy and myth, the land of the famed Tibetans, and beyond them, lands of creation with its infiltrators, the lizards, and farther above, the dragon of karma, the dragon that filters the streams that muddle the clearest of thinkers and drive the most pious to depravity. This is the condensed introduction from the fantasy book Angels Called to War. I am the author of this adventure that operates in the hidden dimensions and in our world, the world of reality. A spiritual science powers the fantasy novel Angels Call to War. In the past, in my life as designer and Taoist medicine practitioner, I further developed the arts of acupuncture, herbs, numerology, feng shui, and tai chi, powerful tools. Most years I wrote a forecast for clients. It proved useful in navigating the pressures and challenges, the exchanges and relationships, the physical body and environments. This year I'm making my forecast public. I have used a small part of the spiritual sciences to forecast the next year and to introduce the next 12-year cycle. There is a little remote viewing, some dream interpretation, but in all, there is not too much of peering into the fated crystal dominoes which house the movie-like experiences of our future. No, it is not that. We can do that, but I don't like doing that. Those images can change and are subjective, despite their overwhelming sense of being the future. I feel that it doesn't serve us to view the poorly structured and dark futures created by the captured writers and creatives from our past. We need something much better. We need to know how to create an improved future, a better world, a place that you and I, husbands and wives, the young and the young at heart, can enjoy and participate and embrace. Let me share with you why I wrote Angels Call to War and how it relates to our current predicament. It is a story of how we defeated the menace that has stalked each and every one of us. The devil's henchman attempted an audacious plan, and if you have been paying attention, and I mean really paying attention, you will have found out that the puppeteers who threw the levers behind the curtain were actually little men using tricks and stagecraft to create an illusion of fear, and then compel the innocent to take the vessel with the pestle, the potion with the poison, and in that they may have partially succeeded. But we fought back and we grasped the essence of freedom, and we have retaken this world. We have already called upon angels to assist us and defeat the devil and his henchmen. The dark army is in retreat and they are being routed. And now let us move into what will happen. We will reshape our world into a beautiful place, a mirror of the original plan, God's plan, as presented through Adam and Eve. The Garden of Eden exists to this day, but it is not in this dimension. It is in another place, the land of archetypes. The angels are nearby too. The story within the book mirrors our world here on earth. The reality has been woven into its pages, and the fantasy of the book has become reality in this world. The routing of the Dark Army is the theme for this year's forecast. The most dangerous of time is when a defeated army is in retreat. A wounded animal, when backed into a corner, is most dangerous. Although we have cause for celebration, we must be cautious and absolutely ruthless in securing our place in the new world. The Great Awakening is in motion, and the new Renaissance is here. Know that we are in a very promising time. Know that we have won the war. Know that a bright future is now secured and guaranteed. Your children's future is saved. Their future is bright. Their world will be wonderful, adventurous, expansive, clean air, clean water, and clean food. Plenty of natural foods, fruits, vegetables, meat, and fish. God's plan is in play, and nature follows our will, which is in harmony with God's will. How could we have lost? God wins, right? Everything will be made real this year. We are at the end of a 12-year cycle, and that cycle was a fire cycle and ruled by the number 9. We have one more year in this energy. The fire makes everything plain to see. It is the energy of obvious action and is a time for initiation. The fires of initiation have awoken the world. It was a perfect time for this great awakening. We have one more year, and as we leave the 941 energies of 2023, we enter the 932 of 2024, where all things become grounded and only those things that make sense and add to life in a logical and systematic way are kept. It should be an interesting year. Much will play out in the world of relationships, partnerships, and marriage and emotional expression. It is the year where butterflies will spread wings and fly with high expectation. It is a time of hypersensitivity, and those who are already struggling with closed hearts and pericarditis, well, you'll be further challenged. So get the poison out of your blood, people. I use a Spooky 2 frequency generator for remote work, and it is a gift to humanity. Foods high in chlorophyll and organic CBDs are some of nature's gifts for healing. This year, all will be in plain sight, and the middle number of 3 from the 932 combination of numbers, the driving force of the Thunder Dragon, is controlling the show this year. It takes a mature mind to rise above the pettiness of past grievances and racial intolerance. The green dragon of karma challenges each of us to bless those who are not in harmony with and take a high view. If we are petty, then arguments can get very loud. This dimension, this plane of experience, is all about navigating the complexities of the unseen attraction and repulsion. To overcome them, one must truly remain centered and lovingly offer a better vision of the future to lead competing parties out of the fog and out of the drama. This is the great gift of the application of the Spirit of Christ and the noble act of us as the witnesses. It's going to be one heck of a year. Exciting too, because this is the year where the truth shall be plainly seen, and what a wondrous thing that will be. Secrets revealed. Political. We will see the explosion of the old system this year. I would not wish to be a politician. They have entered this game of graft and corruption too late in the game, and the people have had enough. A more efficient system is around the corner, but we must clean up the mess in the short term. Financial. It's all over the news now. The currency cycle is at an end, and the Rothschilds have made their play into Indochina, Russia, Brazil, and South Africa. Basically, all the second-tier countries are to be developed towards a first tier. Where there is development and expansion, there is profit through improved valuation. Also, they will attempt to profit from the dissolution of the old powerhouses. Think like a receiver appointed to manage the sell-off of a failed company, asset stripping and fast liquidations, whilst charging exorbitant fees along the way. That is their playbook. Currency. Yes, the cycle has returned to gold, and we will have a gold-backed currency. It will launch shortly. Drawing upon a little remote viewing and dream vision, I've seen the first presentation of the gold-backed currency. All the international trading houses will be able to transact with confidence. I think we will enjoy this new old world, a world of real value and underinflated currency. A fair day's work equals fair pay. 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, a silver coin. That is at the root of the 3rd seal of Revelation. I saw the dark horse in the middle of the year. The dark horse beckons a time of being weighed in the balance. The theme is fair value. Many people have become used to working and creating no value. The top-heavy government, which fielded opportunity for invention of government business, was always, dare I say it, a fantasy. There never was any business in government. There will be lots of adjustment as people relearn the meaning of the scales in the balance. If you think it through, the dark horse does bring great change. How many of us have sought to survive through government contracts, and when charging government, the rule was double the figure and add a zero. And how many of us work within a system, say law, that does not support the rights of the individual, but extracts heavy fees and is nothing but a blunt weapon of control and punishment. Change is upon us, yes, exciting and challenging times ahead. And once unravelled, these systems need to be rethought, rewoven, and reconstructed. That takes brainpower and common sense. There will be much work required from many of us. Quite the challenge ahead, I think. Freedom. Freedom was never negotiable. We defended freedom, and freedom never needs to be justified. We are all of God, and that is that. Freedom has been reinstated, and it will continue roll around the world in waves of healthy expression. That is that. Medicine. The new medicine is the best of the old medicine and the best of modern tech. Thank goodness we shall move past the days of the knife, which were only ever in the hands of a butcher. After all, the butcher was the one who knew how to dissect a beast. New medicine means a new paradigm. The population will need a big dose of responsibility. Hospital business capitalizing on the mesmerized minds of the ignorant. We will look back on this period of time as we look back upon the Middle Ages. Their medicine was barbaric, particularly when the herb law and spiritual law was strangled by the church and hung from a tree and labelled witch. We are entering the age of Aquarius. The new frequency of knowledge means that sense will become common. Simply the energy from the third eye dominates now. Luckily, we have ways of removing the heavy metals that have blocked the receptors in the heads. Frequencies can dislodge such things as graphene from the body. Let's hope those whom we love and who were resistant previously may now embrace the opportunity to get healthy and move forward with the rest of us. Technology. Remember December 14, 2022, when the director of the US Energy announced that fusion energy was retail. I am paraphrasing. What did this mean for the world? Simply, energy is now abundant, and the dreams of science fiction can be made real. Cars that can drive for years on a charge, flying ships that can traverse our air and travel across a galaxy are now possible. The cost of production of every item, product, food, technology, and ideas, all costs of production will plummet. Energy costs was a major component. And with this new almost free energy, so much will be redesigned and reimagined. We're entering a period of incredible productivity, and that means people will be busy, rewarded, and happy. And happy people make for a peaceful planet. Wars become a thing of the past when people are happy. We have better things to do with our time. The next 12-year cycle is ruled by the number 8. This energy means a return to stability. It contrasts to the obvious action of the previous 9 cycle, which were the dragon years. I've westernized the definition of the number 8 mountain into an idea and image of the chess player. A different game is afoot. The last cycle resembled checkers, and this next 12 years will look more like chess. If you play chess or observe chess players, you may notice the absence of obvious action. There is little that is obvious. It all happens in the stillness of the mind. This is a period where the character of each of us is tested, developed, and drawn upon. It is also the period of wisdom. Luckily, we will be carried by the momentum of the Great Awakening and into the New Renaissance, and we may well have the patience to draw upon wisdom from those older and experienced. The 8 energy is also about nurturing and protection. It is a caring energy, as a rule. When out of balance, it can become self-serving and greedy, playing to win. It is my projection that the tide of Aquarius will see us in a great space of expansion, and that the potential negative patterns of the number 8 will be overcome. Countries that are naturally strong in the number 8, mountain energy, the chess player, are Britain and Russia. Countries who are not natural chess players are the Americas and France. If you have insight into history, you will probably see the correlation here. Overt aggressive behaviour and destabilising via power are hallmarks of the old ways, and an improved period of partnerships and supportive long-term strategies will nurture growth into the future. The 8 energy is a sophisticated energy where much is hidden, but the overriding age of Aquarius will reveal all that is needed. Again, I'm positive. Lastly, let me remind you that it is through the creation of a completed positive image in your imagination, and when that image is brought to life through feeling, spiritualized, and lifted to heaven, that our future is created. This is the wonderful gift that was revealed by the New Testament. It is ironic to me that it was this skill and innate God-given talent that led us out of the poorly formed dystopia of Huxley and Wells and into a brighter golden age of 1,000 years of the New Renaissance. There are just some of the tools I've utilized in my work in Angel's Call to War. It's a very interesting work of fantasy, built upon spiritual science, and set in our modern world. Please buy a copy and gift one to those older than 14 years of age. There is a bit of harsh language in the book. It's available in ebook and audiobook at angelscalltowar.com. What is coming next? We are creating the movie based upon the book.